What if I told you that right now, scientists have created contact lenses that let you see in complete darkness, even with your eyes closed? This isn't science fiction anymore. Chinese researchers just made it real, and it's about to change everything. Think about this for a second. You're in a pitch black room, no light whatsoever. Your eyes are shut tight, but you can still see everything around you, clear as day. That's exactly what these new infrared contact lenses can do. Here's what happened. A team of engineers in China figured out how to create contact lenses that detect infrared light, the same invisible light that your TV remote uses. But instead of just detecting it, these lenses translate that infrared radiation into something your brain can actually process as vision. The science behind this is wild. Every object around you is constantly emitting infrared radiation based on its temperature. Humans, animals, cars, buildings, everything gives off this invisible light signature. These contact lenses pick up those infrared flickers and convert them into visual information. It's like having a built-in thermal camera right on your eyeball. Now, you might wonder, how is this even possible? The lenses use special materials that respond to infrared wavelengths. When infrared light hits the lens, it creates tiny electrical signals that stimulate your eye's natural vision pathways. Your brain interprets these signals just like it would regular light, except now you're seeing heat signatures instead of visible light. The testing results are insane. Researchers put these lenses on test subjects and had them navigate completely dark rooms. Not only could they see clearly, but they could identify objects, read heat patterns, and even detect people hiding behind walls based on their thermal signatures. One test subject described it as seeing the world in a completely new spectrum, like suddenly being able to see a color that never existed before. But here's where it gets really interesting. The military applications are obvious. Imagine soldiers who don't need bulky night vision goggles anymore. Just pop in contact lenses, and you've got permanent night vision that can't be knocked off your head or run out of batteries. Security personnel could wear them during the day and instantly have night capabilities when needed. Rescue operations could be revolutionized overnight. Think about firefighters searching through smoke-filled buildings. With these lenses, they could see heat signatures of trapped victims through walls and debris. Search and rescue teams looking for lost hikers at night wouldn't need flashlights. They'd see body heat from hundreds of feet away. The researchers also discovered something unexpected. These lenses can pick up encrypted infrared signals invisible to the naked eye. This opens up possibilities for secret communication systems where messages are literally invisible unless you're wearing the lenses. Imagine walking past a billboard that looks blank to everyone else, but you see a hidden message because you've got the infrared lenses in. They're even talking about using this for anti-counterfeiting. Currency or important documents could have infrared markers that only show up with these special lenses. It would be virtually impossible to fake because counterfeiters wouldn't even know the markers exist. But let's talk about what this really means for the future. We're entering an era when human enhancement isn't just about fixing problems, it's about giving ourselves abilities we never had before. These contact lenses don't correct bad vision, they give you superhuman vision. Think about how quickly contact lenses for vision correction became normal. 50 years ago, the idea of putting something directly on your eyeball seemed crazy. Now, millions of people do it every day without thinking twice. These infrared lenses could follow the same path. In 20 years, having night vision might be as common as having a smartphone. Of course, this raises some serious questions. What happens to privacy when anyone could be walking around with thermal vision? You can't hide from infrared. Your body heat gives you away whether you like it or not. There's no such thing as hiding in the dark anymore. The researchers addressed some safety concerns too. The lenses are designed to automatically adjust sensitivity to prevent damage from sudden bright infrared sources. They've also built in filters to block harmful radiation wavelengths. But long-term effects? We won't know those for years. Here's something that really struck me. One of the lead scientists said this is just the beginning. If we can make lenses that see infrared, what about ultraviolet? What about radio waves? What about magnetic fields? We could potentially create lenses that let you see Wi-Fi signals floating through the air or electrical currents running through walls. The current prototype still has limitations. Battery life is a challenge. The lenses need some kind of power source to process the infrared signals. Right now, they're working on versions that harvest energy from body heat or eye movement. The resolution isn't quite as sharp as natural vision yet, but it's improving with each iteration. Cost is another factor. These aren't going to be at your local optometrist next week. The materials and manufacturing process are expensive, but like all technology, prices will drop as production scales up. The researchers estimate consumer versions could be available within 5 to 10 years. What really excites me is thinking about regular people having access to this. Imagine camping and being able to see animals moving through the forest at night, or walking to your car in a dark parking lot and seeing if anyone's hiding nearby. Parents could check on their kids at night without turning on lights and waking them up. The medical applications are huge too. Doctors could potentially see inflammation or circulation problems just by looking at patients. Early detection of certain conditions that affect body temperature could save lives. But we need to think carefully about the implications. When everyone can see in the dark, what happens to the concept of darkness itself? Some of our most basic human experiences, the mystery of night, the privacy of darkness, could fundamentally change. There's also the question of regulation. Should there be restrictions on who can buy these? Should you need to declare if you're wearing them in certain situations? These are conversations we need to have before the technology becomes widespread. Right now, research teams in other countries are racing to develop their own versions. This could spark a new kind of arms race, not for weapons, but for human enhancement technologies. The country that masters this first gains a significant advantage in military, security, and even economic applications. The scientists behind this breakthrough say they're not trying to create super soldiers or spy tools. They want to enhance human capability to save lives and solve problems. But technology rarely stays limited to its original purpose. What fascinates me most is that we're living through the beginning of the augmented human era. These contact lenses are just one example. We're developing brain-computer interfaces, enhanced hearing devices, and even artificial organs that work better than natural ones. The line between human and enhanced human is starting to blur. Some people are calling this transhumanism, the idea that we can and should use technology to expand human capabilities beyond their natural limits. Others worry we're playing with forces we don't understand. Both perspectives have merit. The infrared contact lens team is already working on version 2. They want to add features like zoom capability, image recording, and even augmented reality overlays. Imagine contacts that not only let you see in the dark, but display information about what you're looking at. One researcher described a future where your contacts could identify people you meet, translate foreign languages in real time, or warn you about dangerous heat signatures. It sounds like science fiction, but so did smartphones 20 years ago. This technology represents a fundamental shift in how we think about human limitations. For all of history, humans couldn't see in the dark, just accepted as part of being human. Now that's changing. What other unchangeable human limitations will we overcome in the next decade? The development process wasn't easy. The team spent years figuring out biocompatible materials that wouldn't irritate eyes. They had to solve problems with heat dissipation, signal processing, and making the lenses thin enough to be comfortable. Every breakthrough required solving 10 new problems. What's remarkable is how fast this moved from theoretical to practical. 5 years ago, this was just equations on a whiteboard. Now they have working prototypes that people are actually wearing. That acceleration of innovation is happening across all fields of human enhancement. I think we're at an inflection point. These infrared lenses aren't just a cool gadget. They're a glimpse into the future where human capability is limited only by our imagination and engineering skills. Whether that future is utopian or dystopian depends on how we handle these technologies as they emerge. The researchers are careful to note that these lenses won't replace human judgment or wisdom. Seeing in the dark doesn't make you smarter or more moral. It's a tool, and like any tool, its value depends on how we use it. Still, I can't help but be excited. We're living through the real-world emergence of abilities that used to exist only in comic books. Night vision today? What tomorrow? The scientists working on this believe we're just scratching the surface of what's possible. As one of the lead researchers put it, we're not just creating contact lenses, we're redefining what it means to be human in the 21st century. And whether you find that thrilling or terrifying, one thing's certain, the future is going to look very different from what we're used to. What do you think about having night vision abilities? The world is changing faster than ever, and technologies like these infrared contact lenses show just how wild that change can be. We're entering an era where